All right, welcome everybody back on a Wednesday night. We're here with the Maple Ridge Racing Series. This is round two of the playoffs. We got 125 laps here from Thompson Speedway. Should be a lot of great racing here this evening. We've watched these guys throughout practice and even through qualifying here. Looks like we got a decent field for tonight's playoff race, Jamie. So I'm anxious. Let's get these cars on the track and let's get the beating and banging.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit light on the field tonight, I would say, though. I mean, 10 guys for it being the playoffs. Kind of expect to see better than that. I think we had better than that last week, but definitely some notable names are not here tonight. So we will see if anybody can challenge Michael D'Amico, who right now is sitting on the pole with a 19.368 second lap here at Thompson International Speedway.
Yeah, some fast lap times here throughout the night. Obviously, to be anywhere close to the front, you had to be, sub 20 seconds. Now, I'm assuming, race pace will probably settle out somewhere around that 20-second mark. But my goodness, man, there had been a lot of fast laps laid down and a lot of, well, I expect a lot of good racing here this evening.
Yeah, it looks like this track's going to provide for some good racing. It looks like there might be multiple grooves out there. Saw some guys running the bottom, some running the middle. So we'll definitely have to see how it works out once the racing starts. If that's going to be the case, if the two grooves holds up, or will it just be a single groove and passing is limited? We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that.
That is always interesting here at the short tracks. And I think it was on Monday night when we were broadcasting Legend series there for the original Rebels, and passing was just absolutely almost impossible. And a lot of these short tracks, it's the same way. It's that inside line, and you got to be able to get your car down there, and you've got to be able to get it to stick. So we'll see how the passing goes here this evening. But qualifying has wrapped up, and our starting lineup has been set. And as Jamie had mentioned, Michael D'Amico in that number 29 machine is our pole winner here this evening with a lap time of 19.368. So congratulations to him. Starting in second place is going to be Christopher Morris Jr. in the number 3 machine. Starting in third is Jared Audette in the 76 from 603 Motorsports. To his outside is going to be John Dickerman in the number 13 from JJ Racing. And then rounding out our top five is Joseph Fernandez in the double zero from JJ Racing.
And starting sixth, we got the nine of Michael Waite. Doesn't have any numbers on his car tonight, but we're gonna say he's the nine anyways.
I like it.
Starting seventh, our Goat Locker Racing entry, the number 23, Ryan Pendleton. Starting eighth, number 22, the man himself, Alex Marinelli. Starting ninth, number 10, Jonathan Hancock, and rounding out the field tonight in 10th, the '09 of Kevin Otis.
And that, my friends, is going to be the starting lineup for tonight here at, well, like, what is it? The round of four, the round of six? I don't even know how. That's probably a bad thing for me to say that I don't even know how, the playoffs are quite set up here. I know there's still at least four cars in contention, and obviously they're going to wrap up the season and crown a champion next week at Five Flag Speedway, and I can't wait to see that.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully, it should be under the lights. No other way to do that. So, uh, awesome time here to wrap up what's been a great season. Definitely has exceeded my expectations for coming into this with it being a brand new league. They have not raced like it's a brand new league at all. So I really I expect big things here tonight and really big things out of these guys next week for the championship.
Yeah, and I'd have to echo exactly that. They have really put together a great series. I think they chose some really, really good drivers. They haven't had huge fields, but it's provided for some great racing. They brought on a fantastic sponsor in Vermont Sim Racer. And what fun that was to talk to him earlier in the season. And again, I think we're live there right now. I mean, just too cool what they've been able to put together and what these drivers have been able to do on the track week in and week out. We comment every week, and the races are always so much fun to watch. They're a blast to call, and I'm sure for these drivers, they're having a lot of fun behind the wheel of these cars.
Oh, absolutely. And how could you not, with the way the racing has gone in this series, the whole entire season? It's a blast to watch. So I'm sure it's even more fun to be out there in it. So
Yeah, as we see as the cars are pacing around here, got a couple of the cars this evening that are painted up in pink for, as everybody knows, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it's good to see these drivers get involved in things like that. We see Michael D'Amico has changed his numbers over to pink, so kind of seeing some of those things throughout here, which I think is super cool to see. You know, I think Michael Waite was well on his way to doing that, but just forgot the numbers on the side of the car. Hey. Green flag is out. We are underway. Michael D'Amico and Christopher Morris are going to head off into turn 1 side by side. Mike pushes up just a little bit there.
Ooh, look at that launch that Christopher Morris gets on the outside there. Takes over the lead from Michael D'Amico. It looked like he was shot out of a gun the way he came off turn 2.
A strong move by that number 3 machine right there. Jared.
Oh, we got a car down to the inside. Is that Ryan Pendleton?
I have a feeling it was. Yeah, I recognize that number 23 machine. Well, he's just had a tough start to this race.
Yeah, he had a lot of connection issues. He didn't get really any practice time. I saw he was in and out of the session several times. Looks like maybe he might have had some help there because
he got a whole lot of help.
Alex Marinelli's been given an EOL by race control.
Yeah, he got a whole lot of help from Alex Marinelli. It looks like Alex got loose on the outside, or hit the wall and hung a hard left right into the side of the 23 machine.
Oh, wow. You know, good on John Hancock. Sounds weird to say. Jonathan Hancock running race control. You know, good on him to penalize the boss there when he wasn't doing the right thing. So hats off to you for having the integrity to do that there, Jonathan.
Well, only 4 laps of racing thus far here this evening. Already under our first caution of the night. So these guys will get a shaken down here a little bit, get a feel for these cars, and I expect some long green flag runs as we do each and every week with these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Just a minor mistake in the back of the field. Unfortunate for that number 23 machine, but we'll head back up front. Check in on our leader, Christopher Morris, in a very familiar spot. He's led a lot of laps this season. He's won a lot of races, so not surprised to see him get that number 3 machine up to the front quickly.
Absolutely. I tell you, it was very impressive, the run he got coming off of turn 2 there on that first lap to take this lead away from Michael D'Amico. That's going to be tough to deal with if he's got that kind of speed on the exit of the corners there.
And just like he pointed out last week, we do want to mention that that team does support us a lot. I love seeing that Goat Locker logo on the side of those cars. It looks really good sitting right there. We appreciate it, Chris.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the lights are still on the base car here. Figure get a little bit quicker cautions here, but maybe the pace car driver's having some fun here tonight. Run a couple extra laps. Why not?
Absolutely. Probably figures it might be the only time it gets out there tonight, so take advantage of it.
And that's kind of been real typical with these Maple Ridge boys. Pace car doesn't get out on the track very often, so I think he's taking full advantage of it here. So see the rest of the field kind of settling in here. They'll stack up 2 by 2. I'm assuming this time by. Yep, lights are out on the pace car. One of the cool things here about these short tracks, and we can see from some different camera angles, is you can pull back and really be able to see almost the entire track at once here. Really cool shots coming down the back stretch as well. So be able to provide you with some great views of tonight's race. And some really weird looking people that iRacing throws in the stands, but you know, we'll move past that as well. The machine has launched and he is gone. It looks like Michael D'Amico wanted to try to get to the outside, but that number 3 machine kind of blocked that move, and now Jared Audette moves into second place.
Yeah, once again, we saw Michael D'Amico wash up the track a little bit in turns 1 and 2, and Jared Audette jumped all over that and took that second spot away from him. Oh, we got another caution.
As I Thought I heard some tires squealing back there. Looks like Kevin Otis has crashed along with Michael Waite. So let's go back and see if we can't take a look here. 09 and the 9 running side by side, heading off into turn number 1. They definitely get together. Oh, and Alex Marinelli and Ryan Pendleton able just to get around that, but those two cars get into each other, getting into the corner, and that's what brings us under caution here again.
That was a good heads-up move by Ryan to avoid getting collected with his second incident to start this race. Only, what are we at?
Lap number 10.
Lap 10. Wow. Good job by him to avoid creating any more issues for his race tonight.
This almost feels like the. It's unfortunate you had to miss it, Jamie, but the All-Star race with the original Rebels, it was. Oh man, it was a lot of cautions. It was 133 laps at Auto Club. And to kind of keep the humor alive, every once in a while, I'm like, hey, good news is we still only got 95 laps to go. It's a lot of racing.
Yeah, I'd have been pretty irritated if I'd have had to stay on as late as what you said that race ended. Tell you that.
It was a long one for sure. These boys will get this in pretty quickly here again. A couple guys here settling some things out. Not uncommon to see a couple early cautions here as guys are just really getting a feel for their car and getting a feel for being around each other in traffic. So this pace car driver needs to get his act together, though. I think he's extending these by one lap too many. Somebody send a message. Can we get race control to shoot him a message? Like, hey man, let's get these pace laps over with quicker. As we've seen race in and race out, Christopher Morris Jr. in that number 3 machine out front has led every single lap since the drop of the green flag. Now he's going to have Jared Audette to his outside. Mike D'Amico is going to fall in line down there in third, the number 29. Number 13 and John Dickerman is going to restart in that 4th position in one of those pink cars. And I'm going to guess it's his teammate. It's either that or they both went on trading paints and grabbed the exact same paint. One of the two. But another good-looking car in Joseph Fernandez as well, starting in 5th.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, whether these guys are teammates or what the deal is with that. I don't know. I'm guessing they are because there's custom numbers. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing that 13 definitely is a custom number because the number's upside down on the roof. If it was iRacing number, it wouldn't be, and their numbers really look identical. Other than the fact that one of them's upside down.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not real sure either.
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember them running similar schemes before. I mean, really the only ones that were running similar schemes was Christopher Morse and the 51 car. His name's slipping my mind right now. Christopher Morse gets off to a good start. We're back to green flag racing here.
Zach Onsall.
Yes, Zach.
There we go. Yep, took me a second too as well. The number 3 machine gets out to a good start here. This time Jared Audette's right on his back bumper. It looks like he washes up a little there in the corner. He's going to have a mirror full of that number 29 machine as Mike D'Amico is wanting to get back into the front.
John Dickerman's wanting to get up here and get involved in this too, as he's closing in on the back of the 29.
As our top 4 drivers now are running about within a second of each other. Ryan Pendleton has moved up into 5th position. Joseph Fernandez back in 6th position right now. And we see the boss man Alex Marinelli running back in 7th position. Kevin Otis in that 09 machine in 8th, and then running out our field right now is I don't know what number I am. Michael Waite machine. We're just going to continue to do this, Mike. We apologize, but we find fun things to entertain ourselves.
That's right. Number 9 in your program, but nothing on the door.
Oh, yeah.
That's John Dickerman looking at the inside of the 29.
We've seen a lot of early run speed out of that 13 car at a few different tracks. doesn't seem to have the long run speed in the car that some of these other guys do. We'll have to see as this run continues on whether that this type of speed stays in that 13 machine or we start to see him fall back. Christopher Morris Jr. right now enjoying about a half a second lead over Jared Audette. As these boys are still pulling sub 20-second laps.
Still getting around here pretty good. Really not far off their qualifying speed at all. Not 20, especially when you're looking at 21 laps into this race. Granted, a lot of them have been under caution, but drop off just doesn't seem to be that severe.
That last lap, Jared Audette was about a tenth faster than our leader. This time by, he's a tenth and a half faster than our leader. So that 76 machine has definitely found a little bit of speed, and he's starting to pull right back up to that number 3. Continue the lap around. We are on lap number 23 of our scheduled 125 here tonight. This is the second round of the playoffs here. Season wraps up. Crown a champion next week at Five Flags Speedway. It's going to be an awesome race, and I cannot wait for that one. And this one's shaped up to be a pretty good one as well. As that number 3 machine, it hasn't been able to get away from Jared Audette. And Jared Audette, I think, is just being patient behind him right now, trying to pick his spot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the two of them have kind of opened up a little bit of separation over third place, Michael D'Amico. About 5/10, I guess, between second and third. Everybody seems to be running in groups, except for Ryan Pendleton, who's running in fifth, kind of all by himself. He's in between the fourth place and the sixth place car.
It does seem like you've got 2 cars, a gap, 2 cars, and then a gap back to Ryan Pendleton there. And then it kind of gaps back to another couple of cars. So the field's starting to spread out here just a little bit. And again, this is about a half-mile track, a little bit bigger than a half mile. So I don't suspect that these leaders are going to be in traffic at all points in times. But as we pull up the track map right now, you'll see that the leaders are almost a half a lap ahead of our last place car, that number 9 of Michael Waite.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive that they've been able to get that far out in front, considering that so much of this race was under caution early on. We are 28 laps in. But, you know, up until this run right here, there really hasn't been much green flag racing. So these leaders have definitely put down some fast lap times.
And again, a lot of great racing here. Now we see Jared Audette start to fall back just a little bit here. We still see a heated battle between Mike D'Amico and John Dickerman back there for that third position. Now it looks like John Dickerman is falling back just a touch. Ryan Pendleton just hanging out there in 5th position, kind of, like you said, Jamie, all by himself. Nobody really close to his front, and nobody even remotely close to the rear of that car. We go back and take a look at Joseph Fernandez in that 00 pink machine. Alex Marinelli still hanging out there in 7th position. Kevin Otis in that 09 back in 8th, and as we've commented a couple different times, Michael Waite is running back there in the 9th position in the number 9. Oh,
yeah, I think right. Oh, go ahead.
Before I totally forget, Jamie, happy birthday.
Oh, yes, it is October 12th, isn't it?
Well, 13th, but, you know, who's counting?
Oh, wait. I'm confused. Mondays throw me all off. Yes, the 13th. You were correct. It's 13th. What is this? 200.
Oh, why would you do that? Why would you make us do public math on the air?
Yeah, I knew it, and now I've forgotten it already. I'm getting old, I guess.
You know,
and it's not. Everybody's probably thinking it's not my birthday, folks.
It is not. It is the birthday of the United States Navy. And of course, both of us that served 20 plus years in the Navy, we remember these days. Well, One, because we served for so long, and two, our Facebook feed gets just slammed full of it. You just can't find
Yeah.
it.
Yes, it has been today.
I mean, we can go as far as to sing the company song and all kinds of crazy stuff on the broadcast. That may be a touch too far because even when I sing "Happy Birthday" to people, I'm not sure how well received that is.
Well, speaking of birthdays, I was kind of hoping we would see Brandon Wallace in here today, tonight, because today's his birthday.
That's right.
He's almost as old as the Navy, not quite, but he's almost as old.
He looks like it. I mean, he just looks like he's led a rough life, or he's just ugly. One of the two. He's not even in here to hear these jokes. I should say later.
Yeah, he's not.
Dang it. All right, as now we're starting to see Michael D'Amico starting to make some ground up on the leaders himself. He's getting close to the 76 right now. John Dickerman as well continues to hang on here as these four cars are starting to bunch back together.
Yeah, they sure are. Top four. No longer really two cars separated from each other. It's pretty much one group now.
And this is a lot of times what makes these league races a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to call. They get into these long green flag runs, and you really start to see some of these drivers' talents come out. You'll see the guys that have the speed early on, some of that short run speed, and then you'll see the guys that really understand what this race is going to be about, save their equipment, and then start to make their way forward, which I'm thinking is what we're starting to see out of that number 29 machine right now.
Yeah, I mean, definitely he seems to be very smart and, does a really good job of saving his equipment on these long runs. So we're definitely probably seeing that as we're kind of starting to see Jonathan Dickerman fall back from this group a little bit. He's now 1.2 seconds behind the leader, kind of falling back into Ryan Pendleton's lap here.
Yeah, and Ryan Pendleton's actually matching the leader's lap times right now, so it seems he's found some speed in his car as this race has continued on. Continue to watch up front here. That 76 of Jared Audette is not going anywhere, and Michael D'Amico continues to stalk back there in third position.
Yeah.
We're on lap number 43 of our scheduled 125 tonight. A lot of great racing here from Thompson Speedway. Pretty cool track. Interesting to see some of these guys and where they're running these cars. You can see there's a little bit difference in banking, where I would think the groove would be, which is the darker part of that corner, looks to be a little less banking. These guys seem to want to stay up on the banking. So it's kind of been interesting to even see the line, Jamie.
Yeah, really all three of the top three, all three of them are running a slightly different line from each other. And that's probably why they're pretty much mirroring each other's lap times, is because nobody's really in the tire tracks of the other one. Although Michael D'Amico really closed up on the back of Jared Audette there on that lap. And it seems like Michael D'Amico is a little bit faster through 3 and 4. He really closes up each time in the middle of 3 and 4. Where Jared Audette may be a little bit better in 1 and 2.
Go back and take a look here. Alex Marinelli has moved himself into 6th position around Joseph Fernandez. So he continues to move up. Michael Wade has actually moved up as well, up into the 8th position. And now Kevin Otis in that 09 runs back in 9th position.
And there goes 29 around Jared Audette to retake 2nd place. And the 13 of Jonathan Dickerman slams it down on the inside through 3 and 4. Well, he was alongside Jonathan Dickerman, but he falls back in line. I guess he thought better of pushing his luck into turn 1, as now Christopher Morris has to deal with the lap traffic. Kevin Otis, who gets down to the bottom and gives way to the leaders. Very nice gesture on his part, letting these guys go so they can continue their battle for the lead here.
And Now we'll have to sit back and watch and see how much speed that Mike actually has in the number 29 machine if he's able to close up here on Christopher Morris Jr. Great pass there to move himself up into second place. And right now, he does seem to be the fastest car on the track. As the lap times really aren't falling off that much. Our leaders are running 20.2s. You look back at third and fourth and fifth position, and they're running 20.4s.
Christopher Morris, so he's definitely starting to flex the muscle on these guys as he's pulling away now from Michael D'Amico out to a 7/10 second lead and growing.
He was about a 10.5 lap faster that last lap. That time around, Mike D'Amico was about a half a tenth faster than him. So we'll continue to kind of watch it here a little bit, see how they exchange lap times back and forth here. We are now coming up on 52 laps complete of our schedule, 125 here this evening. Again, this is round 2 of the playoffs for the Maple Ridge Racing Series. Been a lot of great racing here from Thompson Speedway. Big shout out to Vermont Sim Racer, the title sponsor for this series. I know they've done a lot to support the series, and from pulling up our broadcast and getting people involved with it to really being involved with the series itself and helping them make this thing go. So big shout out to them as well.
I would imagine, since these guys are running 60% fuel, that they really shouldn't be too far away from having to make green flag stops here. Completing 55 laps right now, so I don't know exactly how far they can go, but I can't imagine they could go a whole lot further.
No, I would like to think that they could at least get to halfway, and hopefully that's the kind of the strategy that was put in place for these playoff races to force at least one pit stop. So I'd like to see them get to that halfway point here, which we're not far from it. We're about 7 laps away from being halfway through this race. And then we'll have to start to see where the strategy comes into play. I mean, do they immediately come get their fuel and their one set of tires that's laying in the pit? Do they stay out there a little bit longer? We'll have to see how it plays out. But, our two leaders continue to almost mirror each other when it comes to lap times. I mean, they are trading thousandths of a second back and forth right now.
Yeah, it's definitely an impressive job by the two of these guys.
Now John Dickerman has moved up into third position now, so he continues to show some speed. As Jared Audette has fallen back to fourth. Ryan Pendleton still hanging out in fifth, just kind of hanging out all by himself still, but having himself a good race.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I really thought Jonathan Dickerman might have been using this stuff up in the early going and was going to be fading, but you know, he has done an excellent job of kind of just maintaining that gap that he has, and you know, he's picked another spot up to get into the top 3. So definitely a good run for Jonathan Dickerman so far.
Yeah, outstanding run. And I know I was talking earlier a little bit during the run that he tends to have that short run speed, and I'd be interested to see if he's figured out some of that long run speed. And obviously he has tonight, Jamie, because he continues to move his way up into the field. Michael D'Amico, again, these two leaders just keep swapping time back and forth. Every time I look up and I think that 29 machine's closing in, that number 3 just flexes a little bit more and pulls away. So we're getting close to that halfway point. So at some point in time, Jamie, I think we're going to start seeing these pit stops happening. I hope these guys practiced a green flag stop because getting on pit road here at Thompson is no easy task from what I saw during practice.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird entry there. Not really in a good spot. You're going to have to get slowed down really quick and get your car on pit road speed there without getting run over on the track, because you don't have a lot of room to pull off.
No.
I tell you what, Jonathan Dickerman is coming. He is got to within less than a second to the leader. He was 1.3 seconds back not too long ago. He's now at 7/10 back and has pulled up to the bumper of Michael D'Amico. So right now, I'd say Jonathan Dickerman's fastest car on the track.
Yeah, that last lap he was faster than our leader by a tenth. Lap before that he was faster by 2/10. So Jonathan Dickerman has found some more speed in that car. And that time around he was 2/10 slower than our leader. So I think every time we mention something, Jamie, I think that number 3 machine is tuned into the broadcast. I think he's hearing what we're saying, and then he just steps it up.
Yeah, either that or Jonathan Dickerman is just overdriving the car, because that's another corner where he just went in and kind of washed straight up the racetrack. So might be a combination of both those things going on with him.
That time around he was able to match the time of our leader there. And Michael D'Amico was the fastest car on the track. So 66 laps complete. We're on lap number 67 of our scheduled 125 here this evening. Had a couple of cautions early on, but we are amidst a very long green flag run here and getting ready to see some green flag stops. As we've mentioned a couple different times, they only have 60% fuel here this evening. They've got one set of tires sitting in the pits, and it's going to be feeding time here real soon.
Yeah, all the early caution laps might have extended this fuel run a little bit more than we expected, but I can't imagine these guys are going to be able to go too much further. They are getting pretty close to catching the tail end of the lead lap cars here, and there's 3 of them right in front of them, including Alex Marinelli in 6th place, that are in danger of going a lap down.
Yeah, now we've seen Mike D'Amico be able to pull right up to the bumper of the number 3 machine. So we'll have to see if he's able to stay there or try to make any type of move. Yeah, as you just mentioned, Jamie, they're getting ready to catch the tail end of the field here, and they're going to run into 3 cars right now that are not going to want to go a lap down, I wouldn't think.
And if I was Christopher Morris, I probably wouldn't even want to deal with them. I mean, if I've got to make a pit stop here shortly anyways, I might just think about going now so I can make my pit stop and not have to even deal with these lap cars. Hopefully by the time you get back out, you've either made up some time on pit road, or hopefully they won't be a factor for you anymore.
As Christopher Morris Jr. stepped his lead back out again, it's over 6/10 of a second. John Dickerman's hanging in back there, about a second behind our leaders, so not a lot of change there. We're seeing a couple of Michael Waite move up a little bit in the field. He's up to 7th position. Alex Marinelli sitting there in 6th. Ryan Pendleton in 5th, 10 seconds back of our leader right now. As we're going to start to see Christopher Morris Jr. start to work his way through some lap traffic. That first car being the 00 of Joseph Fernandez.
You got to the inside of Joseph Fernandez. Going to put him a lap down in the middle of 1 and 2.
Both our leaders able to make it past that lap car pretty quickly there. Not too much incident.
And Jonathan Dickerman did as well, and has closed within 6/10 of Christopher Morse. So as they're putting these cars a lap down, the battle for the lead is going to pick up here.
I keep wanting to use this TV camera angle, but on the backstretch when it like hands down it, Jamie, there's a really weird guy like standing in the field like with his fist in the air, and it's creeping me out.
It's not Dale Jr., is it?
No, it's a bald-headed. I'm not sure what's going on there. It's really weird. I like the camera angle. I just don't like the little bald iris protester on the backstretch. It's freaking me out, man. All right, as we get back to the action here again, we're on lap number 77 of our scheduled 125 here this evening. So less than 50 laps to go. We've not seen the leaders on pit lane yet, and Jared Audette's going to be the first one to come down pit lane. Looks like the 00 has also come down and gotten his pit stop. We'll watch Jared Audette's pit stop here as our leaders continue to lap around right now. We'll head back up front and see that Mike D'Amico again has closed back in to under 0.3 of a second here. John Dickerman still back there in third position, doing a great job staying in touch with our leaders. He's not really fallen more than a second back of them. He'll pick up a little bit, he'll lose a little bit, and he's staying right in touch. Now it looks like the number 29 machine of Mike D'Amico is going to peel off and come down pit road. He's going to bring John Dickerman along with him.
He was doing a little Tokyo drift there.
Hey, you got to get it all in, man.
Absolutely. He held on to it, though. That was pretty impressive.
Looks like Ryan Pendleton is on pit lane as well. So we got a couple of our leaders here. Christopher Morris hits pit lane this time around. We'll see him bring that number 3 machine down pit road. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. As John Dickerman and Mike D'Amico came down a lap before him, we're going to see how big of a difference 1 lap fresher tires is going to make.
Well, I'm pretty sure Michael D'Amico just took 4 tires, but he beat Ryan Pendleton off of pit road, and Ryan was already there when he came to his pit stall. So that's an impressive stop for the 29 crew.
Yeah, Ryan Pendleton spent some extra time on pit lane, it looks like. We'll have to see how it continues to kind of pan out here. As Mike D'Amico only was on pit road for about 16.5 seconds, and most of these pit stops are 20 and 21 seconds here, so I'm thinking he only took 2 tires and fuel, Jamie.
Very well might have. Maybe I really didn't see that left side go up in the air. So, yeah, if he only took 2 tires, that would explain how he beat Ryan off pit road so easily. Definitely keep an eye on that and see how these 2 tires hold up to the 4 tires that Ryan took.
As we see, John Dickerman now is ahead of Christopher Morris Jr. as well, so taking advantage of those 1 lap fresher tires, got out there in front of him. And so now, once this all cycles out and Michael Waite comes down pit road to get his stop, our leader is going to be Mike D'Amico, and then John Dickerman and Christopher Morris are going to be a good ways behind him.
Well, they sure are. We're talking about over Christopher Morris is almost 8 seconds behind. Wow. And with 85 laps in the books, it gives us 40 laps remaining. That's a lot of time to have to try to make up.
And I tell you, Jamie, Mike D'Amico's lap times are the same as Christopher Morris Jr. right now. John Dickerman's a tick faster as we're watching the laps kind of go by here. But it doesn't look like that strategy from Mike D'Amico is really affecting his speed at all. If it is, it's a 10th or so. And that's a lot of time to make up. And these tires will begin to start to equalize.
Yes.
As Mike D'Amico now has taken over control of this race. Michael Waite's fallen back to 2nd position. John Dickerman in 3rd. Christopher Morris Jr. back there in 4th position. And Jared Audette back in 5th position with Ryan Pendleton in 6th, 1 lap down.
It's a shame for Ryan Pendleton. I was hoping when he came in a little bit earlier than the leaders did that he would avoid losing that lap. But I guess taking 4 tires may not have been the right call to make there.
Right now we're starting to see things cycle out. Mike D'Amico has got a 5.7 second lead right now over John Dickerman in 2nd place. He's up 6.2 seconds over Christopher Morris Jr. in 3rd place. So,
yeah, Jonathan Dickerman might be making up a 0.5 a lap, maybe. The numbers really haven't changed much over the last, 5 or 6 laps. So if you're going to make up that 5.6 seconds, in fact, he might have gone backwards that time, but, we're down to,
35 laps left to
go.
That's a whole lot of time to try to make up.
Ooh. Michael D'Amico just got a big wiggle off of turn 4.
Yeah, he's going to lose quite a bit of time.
Yes,
for those
he
two guys.
is. So is that a product of the two tire stop? Is that car coming so loose on it that he's not going to be able to, maintain his pace that he was on?
Well, I have to see. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you take 2 tires, and we've experienced this plenty of times, Jamie. You take 2 tires, it really frees that car up. Um, and on some tracks, almost uncontrollably. We do a lot of testing and practicing, sometimes to figure out our race strategies, and that's one of the things that we always work on is those 2-tire stops and going, yeah, not at this track, not going to do it at this track. But those lap times they seem to have stabilized out. He lost that bit of time there, but it stabilized out to about 5 to 5.1 seconds, as the battle for second place still stays heated between the 13 and the 3. Oh, the 13 is around. Hits the inside wall. Not sure if he got help from Christopher Morris there, but he gets the car straightened back up. No caution here. It's pointed in the right direction.
So far, we stay green. We'll see if Race Control throws one out. iRacing sure hasn't, so...
We stay under green, and now Christopher Morris is going to be in second place, 5.5 seconds back of our leader, Mike D'Amico. John Dickerman's now going to fall. I say fall. He's in third position, but he fell 14 seconds back now.
Wow.
So, tough break for him. It looked like he might have got a little loose off the corner, and maybe Chris got into the back of him a little bit. Not real sure, but a tough break there.
Yeah, Jonathan Dickerman is going to have a caution now to get caught back up. He's not going to be able to make up 14.5 seconds on the leader here in under 29 laps to go.
Oh, the 22 spins out the 0.
Sure did.
Well, throw all that strategy out the window.
Not sure if he was loose already or if he caught that apron and it just kind of pushed him up a little bit in the middle of the corner and it got to 0, but definitely Alex Marinelli
nope.
kind of lost that car a little bit. And
yep. And definitely looked like Alex Marinelli pushed up there a little bit, and on corner entry gets into the side of the 0, and, well, as they say, it's all over but the cry. Oh, yeah. Tough break for the 0 there.
Michael D'Amico an opportunity under caution to come in here. He's only got one set of tires, so all he can really do right now is put lefts on it. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, he's putting lefts on it.
Yeah, that was a lot of laps they ran. So those right side tires got quite a few laps on it.
Well, he put lefts on it and is going to head back out there. I mean, I suppose he's going to, restart back in the 4th position at this point in time. So he didn't lose a whole lot of track position just to come down and grab a new set of left tires. Not sure how that's going to throw the balance of that car off, as the rights probably have, a good 20 laps on them, Jamie?
Yeah, I mean, because we just hit 100 laps. So I think it was just under 80 when they came down pit road. So
we'll continue to watch here as things cycle out, but that's interesting. I don't know, Mike was, his lap times were very solid there. He was able to match anybody else that was on the out on the track. Maybe he thought it best to come down, knowing that it was going to lose a whole lot of track position. Go ahead and grab those fresh lefts and see what he can do with them. Hopefully that strategy works out for him.
Yeah, I think he might have been concerned about how loose that car was continuing to get. Probably figures better come get these tires so he can hold on to this thing to the end, because we saw one big wheel out of him and he just kind of, I don't know, the drop off seemed to kind of be more exaggerated this time around with the 2-tire stop from before than what he had in the first run. So we'll see. I kind of have a feeling this was probably the right call, even though now he's going to have to find get around Christopher Morris one more time here and deal with Jared Audette. So he's got some work cut out for him, but got 23 laps to get it done.
Well, and he's going to restart down there right behind Christopher Morris Jr. So as it now looks like John Dickerman has fallen a lap down as he was getting some repairs done. So we only have 4 cars on the lead lap, and that 4th place car being Ryan Pendleton right now.
Yeah, Ryan was the. Oh, excuse me. Ryan was the lucky dog winner.
Mm.
So he is back on the lead lap.
Pace car pulls off.
Some reason we got cars slowed down on the apron.
And the top three get nose to tail pretty quickly here. Jared Audette is all over the rear of that number 3 machine. It looked like Michael D'Amico again. We've seen him on some of these early runs just really kind of shove up in the corner. It looks like that 29 machine needs a handful of laps to get warmed up before he can do much, as now he's starting to put some pressure on Jared Audette.
He's all over the bumper to 76 right now. Trying to find his way around.
He's going to have to make quick work of him here.
Yeah, he can't afford to let Christopher Morris get too far out in front because he's still got time, but the laps are ticking away, and he's going to run out of time if Christopher Morris gets any kind of significant lead.
Jared Audette's been able to hang there right with him, so we'll continue to kind of watch up front here as Mike D'Amico gives him a little bit of a love tap in the center of the corner, gets him loose. Jared Audette into the outside wall.
Now can Ryan get around these lap cars that he had to start behind and get up here and start challenging these guys for this win?
He's about 4 seconds back at this point in time, so he's going to need a caution to get caught up here. I think he's just patiently sitting back there realizing that not a whole lot of places he can go. No spots to be made up either, so just kind of protect at this point in time. We're going to have to continue to watch Michael D'Amico here to see if he can get up there to the rear of the number 3 machine and try to take back the lead of this race. He was the last person that wanted to see a caution come out.
Oh, absolutely. He had over a 5-second lead just evaporate like that when that caution came out.
Up into the wall. He's going to fall even further back of that 3 machine as he pushed really hard coming out of 4 and clipped the wall there. So now he's about 0.7 of a second behind our leader, Christopher Morris Jr. in the number 3 machine. He's got a lot of speed. He makes up about 0.2 that lap right there.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't look like the brushing the wall hurt the car really any at all. Didn't use the stock Christopher Morris Jr.
$111 laps complete here tonight of our scheduled 125. We're coming down to it, and the 29 car is coming.
He's definitely closing up a little bit here on Christopher Morris.
14 laps left here to go. He's just going to have to pick his spot. He's definitely faster than the 3 machine right now. I think those tires have finally got some heat in them. He's able to move that car around a lot better than anybody else on the track right now. As we see him take a lower exit off there. Wasn't able to quite get the momentum to get a nose underneath him. Oh, that was so close racing right there.
Yeah, they're definitely racing each other hard, but racing each other cleanly. That's the most important part.
As we continue to watch the battle up front, Michael D'Amico in the number 29 machine continues to stalk our leader, the number 3 of Christopher Morris Jr. As we're winding the laps down here, we're coming up to 11 laps left to go. Settle this thing out. Who's going to win round number 2 of the playoffs in the Maple Ridge Racing Series? Been a lot of great racing here from Thompson Motor Speedway, or International Speedway. What's the difference between a motor speedway and an international speedway, Jamie?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I can tell you what a difference between an international airport and a regular airport, but I really don't know what signifies something as an international speedway. Richmond's International Speedway,
sure. USA.
Thompson International Speedway, USA International.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Things that make you go,
Yeah, we need to look that up. I wonder if it has. I mean, do they host like any kind of?
You think most tracks host, all kinds of different things from different series, from just all sorts of different things.
Right.
I don't know. Internet world, I'm sure you will not disappoint us. We will figure out the answer to this age-old question. What makes a speedway international? And if somebody starts telling me Pitbull stop by or something like that, no. Having Mr. International come to the track, unless it doesn't make it an international speedway.
Yeah, so if anybody in the chat knows what it means, feel free to put that down.
Actually, Pitbull's worldwide, and he's like Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide.
So that joke was just completely jacked up. All right, back to the racing. We're going to come up on 6 laps left here to go. Christopher Morris Jr. continues to lead. Mike D'Amico has not been able to figure out how to get around him. He's been there. He has been able to just get the nose of that car there on exit, but cannot seem to get it to stick.
Yeah, he's definitely a tad quicker than Christopher Morris, but as we say week in, week out, catching them's one thing, passing them's another. So.
Yep, coming up on 4 laps left here to go. He's not going to have a whole lot of time to try to figure this thing out. Nope, gets the wall just a little bit there. I think he's just trying to push the fender in a little bit to get a little bit more, slipstream down the straight. Probably not, but it sounded good in my head. 3 laps left to go. These two cars still battling it out for the win here, the number 29 and the number 3. It has just been some tough passing here this evening.
Yeah, sure has. I really want to see these guys finish this right here, right now, without having to go to a green-white checker. They've both done such a good job. I'd hate to see that happen. Man, Michael D'Amico looks to the inside once again, but just can't keep that nose there, and has to give way and get back in line.
He is going to have a nose this time. Nope.
He's not.
Oh, he gives it the chrome horn, backs out of it, doesn't want to win it that way.
That's right. Good job by him.
Outstanding sportsmanship there shown by Mike D'Amico. Backs out of it, lets Christopher Morris get that car righted, and he is going to win here tonight. Christopher Morris Jr. is our winner at Thompson Motor Speedway. International Speedway. Some speedway. We're at a track somewhere. What a great display of sportsmanship by Mike D'Amico there in that number 29 machine.
Absolutely.
See, if that was me and you, Jamie, and I did that to you, I just would have went by you. I'd been like, hey, see you, buddy.
And was it Loudon? Didn't we see these two guys get together late in the race at Loudon and kind of had a little? I think it was Michael D'Amico and Christopher Morris.
I don't remember.
But I mean, I know both those guys have a lot of respect for the other and for each other, and that was really classy. So hats off to Michael D'Amico for pulling that move off.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, again, it's not often you see those types of things. You will see often in iRacing people giving each other the bumper and all kinds of crazy stuff to go win a race. It's not often that you'll see the move pulled off and the guy go, yeah, that was too much. I didn't mean to do that. Let the guy get righted and let him go on and win the race. So, like I said, classy move there.
Yeah, for sure.
Jared Audette is in general right now, so let's go ahead and grab our 3rd place finisher. How about we do this way?
All right.
Nope, now he moved down to the waiting room. Stop moving. Hey, Jared, Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, man, you ran a really good race here tonight. We saw you battling up front from the beginning, there towards the end. Just a lot of great racing out of you here this evening. So take me through your night tonight, how you brought that number 76 home with a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, obviously got a good starting position. I think we beat D'Amico there in one of the restarts and got up to second. And then we ran second for I don't know how many laps, and I felt we were just as fast as he was, and I just used my tires up, and I was running a little bit different line. It seemed like they were staying higher throughout the corner, and I was kind of arcing down off. I just used my stuff up.
Hey, Jared, congratulations on a strong third place finish here in round 2 of the playoffs. What do you think you might have needed with that car to maybe make a difference here and get you up there battling for the lead here late in the race?
Um, I don't know, either a set of tires or one caution somewhere in that. Seemed like an 80 lap run. I think if we just got too spread out, and like I said, I think we were fast enough to run, compete for the win. But with the green flag stops, like I said, fallen back and was just too far behind them to be able to come out with them or in front of them with the green flag pit stop. So if I got one more caution and restarted with them, I think we could have had something for them.
Well, it was still a strong run, man. Definitely one to be proud of, and get to take this third place finish and use that as a springboard in the next week for the final. So, anybody you need to thank, shout out, sponsors?
603 wraps on the car. I gotta thank them for giving me great paint schemes. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Alex Marinelli for putting this on. Thanks to everybody.
Well, again, man, congratulations on that podium finish here tonight, and looking forward to seeing you at the season finale next week at Five Flags.
Am I still in the playoffs? Do you guys know? I'm not sure if I am or not.
Well, we'll get all that sorted out later, but I guarantee us we'll still see you on the track next week.
All right, sounds good.
All right, brother, man.
Have a good one.
I'm not his crew chief. Are you his crew chief? I don't know what his points are. I'm not his crew chief.
We've not seen the points, so.
Nah, you got to talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Marinelli on that one.
That's all right.
But either way, we know we're going to see Jared out there battling for a win next week for sure. So let's grab Mike D'Amico there and have a chat with him. Hey, Mike, Pat, and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you doing, guys?
I'm great. We got to watch 125 laps of some awesome racing here this evening at Thompson. And
yeah, huh?
Yeah, and I'm
That was
probably
fun.
going to steal a little bit of Jamie here, but one, I want to say, man, that was a classy move there at the end of the race. I know you gave Chris a little bit of the chrome horn. You backed out of it, let the man get right and go on and win. So my hat's off to you. The super classy move there. But take me through your night here tonight. I know at one point in time you had a 5.5 second lead. Things were looking great, and then the caution came out. And then it was a matter of battling back up and through. So take me through your night here tonight and how you brought that number 29 home with second place finish.
Yeah, that caution was a real bummer. I'll tell you what, I did use the F word. Not yet, but I'm not going to say it on the broadcast either. That pit stop, I took right side tires, got out to a decent lead. I'm like, okay, if I could steady this, tires will fall off. I'll be all right. Caution comes out. I decided to go get my left tire. So I'm like, all right, at least I have some freshness. Wasn't too happy about giving up the lead, but I'm like, you know what? I might be able to get it back, but this place is so hard to pass. I'm like, can't find a way, a quick play. I would have to force Chris into a mistake. That's the only way you're going to pass here. But otherwise, the car was fantastic. I love this place. I live in Connecticut too, so I frequent here quite a bit as well.
That's awesome, Mike. Congratulations on a strong second place finish. We saw when you took those right side tires that one point in time you got out to the big lead. We saw you with a big wiggle off of turn 4. Was that car building looser and looser as that run went on with those two tires?
It was loose. I think it was a matter of me getting on the gas too quickly, but it started to tighten up a little bit towards the end of that run. I was watching my intervals to second and third place, and they started to stay steady. I'm like, okay, so I think we got a piece to win here. But then, unfortunately, the caution came out, which was a real bummer.
Yeah, that was definitely tough with the lead you had. But, you brought it home second place. It's a good finish to take you into the championship race next week at Five Flags. So looking forward to watching that one. And anybody need to thank, shout out, sponsors?
No one in particular. Just thanks for everyone for watching. My buddy Lou, I'm sure he's watching. Hello. But yeah, that's it. I am looking forward to next week. That's for sure.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on that second place finish here tonight. It was a lot of fun watching you. And you're right, man. I'll say it for you. That caution was a real effing bummer.
Yeah.
All right, brother, man. We will see you on the track next week at Five Flags.
All right, take care, guys.
Yep.
All right.
I can say effing, right? I mean, I just did, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, who's going to come get me? Al Gore's internet police?
Mama Ellington's swear jar is coming for you.
Oh, that's true. All right. Fair enough.
Is Christopher Morse around?
Yeah, yep.
Or is
I'm
he...
going
Okay.
to drag him up here right now. Hey, Chris, Pat, and Jamie up at the booth. You got a copy?
Oh, I got you.
Man, really great racing out of you this evening. Saw some pit strategy play out. You fell back a little bit. Caution comes out, bunches the field back together. Saw a little bit more strategy play out there. And, my main question is how you kept that number 29 car behind you that entire last run. So kind of take me through that last bit, a little run there. But, again, congratulations on the win here this evening.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I thought I had pretty good control over it until the green flag pit stop, and I don't know, it hasn't been my strong point this season, I guess. And I don't know if those guys took 2 tires, or if Mike took 2 tires, or what the deal was, but I came off the road and he's got 7 seconds on me. So tried to run him down. It wasn't going to happen. I got to apologize to John because I got into him off of 4 and turned him around. I didn't mean to. I don't know if he was trying to run higher, if he pushed tight off of 4, but he checked up a ton, and I didn't expect it, and I got into him. But yeah, the caution came out. I guess Mike had to pit. I don't think he put enough fuel in it. And then from there, yeah, I was just trying to hold him off. It's obviously really hard to pass on the bottom here, and he's really clean. We've raced pretty decent all season. He got into me there at the end there, and he lifted. He didn't just run through me, let me gather it up, and that was nice of him. He said it was because I didn't wreck him last week at South Boston. So it goes to show you, if you don't wreck people when you pass them, they'll repay the favor.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. You hit it right there on the head. People are gonna race you the way you race them. So that gesture last week paid off for you this week, man. Yeah, Michael D'Amico definitely took 2 tires on that previous stop, and that was how he got that lead on you guys. But how is your car handling overall tonight?
Way tighter than I thought it would be. I tested a little bit. I try to put down somewhere between 25-50 laps on each of the tracks every week, and it felt a little bit looser when I was testing than it did tonight, and I was kind of really struggling to get it to rotate through the center, and I felt like that was kind of eating away the right front, especially at the end there, trying to keep Mike behind me. Other than that, I mean, it felt pretty decent. These things are really stable. The new tire model's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to figure out how the tires are going to wear, but it's a really fun car, that's for sure.
Well, it looks like it, man. And once again, you guys put on a hell of a show for everybody this week, and winning here tonight in the second round of the playoffs gives you great momentum going into next week for the finale at Five Flags. So can't wait to see you out there. And anybody you need to thank, shout out sponsors.
Yeah, shout out Zach and everybody over at Hijinks. I don't know where he was at tonight, but hopefully he'll be here next week. Everybody over at Vermont Sim Racer, you guys, We Be Racing. I forget to mention them every week. Travis and everybody over on his YouTube page. Alex for putting on the league, and everybody for showing up and racing clean, man.
Well, congratulations on another strong win here tonight. Can't wait to see you on the track next week at Five Flags, brother.
Looking forward to it, guys.
See ya. Well, there you have it. Another great race here with the Maple Ridge guys.
Absolutely.
A lot of great racing here tonight. A lot of green flag runs as well. Got a real long one there in the middle. But Christopher Morris Jr. definitely brings home the win here tonight. Michael D'Amico, a hard-fought second place. That was a bummer. I felt his pain when that caution came out. I've been in that position. You have a gigantic lead. You're like, all right, everything's going good.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching your lap times. You're making sure you're hitting your marks. But back of your mind's like, oh, yeah, man, that checkered flag's coming. And when that caution comes out, man, it knocks the wind out of you.
Absolutely.
But Jared Audette coming back in third position there. Ryan Pendleton recovers from some early issues. And we say early, he was having troubles getting connected to the race and just got into qualifying. And so his first laps were really under green condition, but keeps that car in fourth. John Dickerman finishes back in 5th position. Michael Waite in 6th. Joseph Fernandez in 7th. The boss man, Alex Marinelli, back in 8th. And then Kevin Otis is going to round out the field here tonight, finishing back in 9th position. 69. Yes, folks, you heard it right. 69 laps down.
It's almost like he planned that.
Almost. He might have. He definitely might have. But a lot of great racing here. Continues to be great racing. Cannot wait to see the series finale, season finale, whatever they're going to call it. I know the difference between the two because, like, when a TV series ends, that's like the series finale. It's like, that's it. It's over. But, like, a season, like, speaking of seasons, can Ozark please come out? Netflix.
Oh man, yeah. I think it's coming out either in December or January. Well, I don't know. It should be coming out here shortly because they're going to run it and basically split a big season for the final season. So I think it's supposed to start here before too much longer. I can't wait for that. But in the meantime, you need to go check out Squid Game. That is intense. It is insane. Just definitely don't watch it with the kids.
Yeah, definitely not going to do that one. Actually, I watched Suicide Squad last night, and that was an interesting one. Good.
The first one or the second one?
Second one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good though. All right, back to racing. But they're going to wrap up the season next week at Five Flags. It's going to be under the lights. It's going to be at the track it needs to be at. These guys are going to go out there and have a lot of fun. Again, we saw some great racecraft and some great sportsmanship here tonight, as we've seen all season long. But again, I'm going to give a tip of the hat to Michael D'Amico there for just being a hell of a sportsman there. And as Christopher said, he could have ran through me and won that race, but he didn't. But as we wrap it up here from Thompson Speedway, we are off tomorrow night, taking a little bit of a break. And then Friday, well, I mean, I know how you feel about it, but we will be behind the wheel of our Xfinity cars at Bristol Dirt. So I like dirt racing, but I don't even know what to think about that yet. It's going to be entertaining.
Especially when it don't even have a real setup for the car. It's just something that's got thrown together. It's going to be a disaster. I mean, at least it's only 100 laps, I guess, but I'm not looking forward to it at all. So,
and then we're late Friday night at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. First round of the playoffs for the ARCA Series starts. So really looking forward to that one. And then, of course, on Sunday, we will turn around and then the playoffs start for me and you in the Rebels Truck Series. Round 1 of the playoffs starts on Sunday. And so looking forward to some continued great playoff racing here through the remainder of the week. And then, well, we're just going to say dirt racing. We're not going to say good dirt racing. We're not going to say bad dirt racing. You have your prediction. I'm not going to say mine's far off from your prediction. I just might have a little bit more fun with it because I enjoy dirt racing.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I just enjoy it. It's kind of fun. So, but again, we appreciate everybody that tunes in on the Goat Locker Racing Network. Big shout out to the Maple Ridge Racing Series and all their drivers for supporting us as well. As we've mentioned a couple different times, their premier sponsor, Vermont Sim Racer, and all that they've done to sponsor this series and continue to get the word out about the series. We do truly appreciate it and everything that everybody's doing. And on that, we'll sign off, and we will see everybody on Friday night.